Hi friends, today we are going to talk a bit about how web server works, how it produces some web page which we shall see when the browser renders it. We shall discuss first the details schematically, and then we shall see small demonstration, live demonstration. There would be several items about which we are going to speak further in other videos, but now we shall simply introduce them. Okay, let's start. Suppose we have some server and some HTML, some web page like this. We are already acquainted with the HTML from the previous video, and we know that here is some title displayed in the title of the browser itself. Here is some header which is written in the page in large letters, some more text, and also important for our demonstration, there are inclusions of two files. For example, inclusion of image. We want image to be displayed in the page, some avatar.jpg, and we want to load some JavaScript. We shall speak of JavaScript in further videos, but for now it's just a small program which is executed in our browser to make our page more lively, more funny, etc. To make some magic. Now let us see how it works. We have our computer, some laptop, for example, with the browser open, and we have web server. We do not know where exactly it is, but let's agree that we already established connection, that browser have found this server by its name, like github.io, like google.com, etc., and is ready to send requests. This establishing connection is also very interesting process. It's about networking, and I think we shall speak about this later. But for now, let us agree that's just work. The browser sends request over the established channel. These requests are sent in HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It's a very simple text-based protocol. We shall also discuss it probably in some further videos. It's enough to know that the request usually has some name of the file, some address of the resource which we want to load from this server. Server, when it gets the request, it can either just find such file and send it back, its content, or if it's not static but dynamic content which is generated on the fly, then server can employ running some programs in PHP, Python, etc., loading some data from some database like MySQL, and generate the page content on the fly. For example, it could be weather forecast, which is usually changed frequently, and this could be user profile page, which is different for every user, of course. So this content can be generated. Now, whether it was generated or was static, we sent the response back, the file content, and what is important, the content is prepended by the status. HTTP status is the number and usually a short message explaining it. 200 means everything is okay. The file was found and we return it. Other popular status you may know is 404, which means file wasn't found. Usually statuses over 400 are about various errors. Now we got this file content in our laptop, in our browser, and browser starts parsing and displaying it. And browser finds that we need two more files because we were referencing the image and the JavaScript. Then it sends two more requests, right? And the server, well, if these files are found, it sends their content back also. Content for avatar.jpg is of course binary, and JavaScript is some textual program in JavaScript language. Now, when browser at last get all the files it needed, it constructs the page in its final state, and we are enjoying whatever it shows. That's all about the process of loading the page. Just let's recap two things that are important for us as for programmers. There are programs on server scripts, for example, but they may be not only in scripting languages. They are executed before sending response. They may modify or generate this response. And there are scripts which are sent from server to be executed on the client in the browser. Usually it's JavaScript, but several other languages can be used also. JavaScript also may be used on the server side in form of Node.js, for example, but that's not important right now. Just it's important that there is difference. For example, this JavaScript can't fetch data from the database on the server because it's executed in different computer, right? And also JavaScript shouldn't contain secrets, for example, because user can investigate all this script, can read any line and understand what's going on. That's all about schematic description. Let us switch to our demo. Here I have prepared two files in the folder. One of them is index.html, another is a JavaScript file. We are lacking the image file, you see, but it's on intention. I shall explain a bit later. Now let us see what is in the index.html. Okay, it's just almost the same we have already seen, just a small web page and reference to image and reference to script. What is in this script? Let us print the content of this file also. It's very simple. It just sets timeout for calling function showAlert. After 5000 milliseconds, it means 5000, just 5 seconds after this is executed by the browser, after the page load is started. And the function showAlert simply calls for browser built-in function alert with some dummy message. Let us see how this works. I will use the small debugging server, which is included in the Python standard library. If we type python -m http server, then this module is loaded from standard library, and it really starts the server in the given folder, and we shall see it. Yeah, it is launched, and it says that it listens at the port 8 1000. In the video about networking further, we shall learn that every server may have up to 60,000 ports and may listen by different servers, different programs, etc. But by default, web works on the port 80, but in debug we usually use different ports. So we just need to open browser. I shall type the name of my machine, which is localhost, and it's almost always the same with your machine, and every once when we are referring the same machine we are launching the browser at localhost, and we need to specify the port via column, and you see that immediately the browser even tries to prefetch the page. So here the requests are already executed. Let us see what is fetched. We see that a request for here is our alert about which we were spoken, right, which is created by JavaScript. But let us see the order of requests. First, the browser sent GET request to the root, which is usually mapped to index.html, and the status was 200. Then it was sending the request for avatar.jpg, but as you remember we do not have it, so the status was 404, which means file wasn't found, and here is the error message, and that's why the image is not shown here, right? At last there was a request for a JavaScript file, which was found and was also returned successfully. That's I think all about our demonstration. So here I have stopped the server, and I thank you for watching so far. This schematic of interaction between client and server, and this demonstration of our web page. You see that we need to discuss more things now, how the HTTP works, how these requests look like, also how JavaScript works, how network works, what are these ports, etc. So I invite you to watch our future videos, and don't feel shy to subscribe to our channel. It would be very nice for us.